It's very easy to be good in this space. However, to do that, you have to become obsessed with feedback and implementation. You need to be blowing off the Discord and blowing off my phone and being like, that's what I did with my mentor. I just did not stop calling. I was like, bro, can I get feedback there? What do I need to do here? Why haven't I hit this yet? It wasn't me being impatient, it was because I was so obsessed. When you're good, you can close more deals, you get better, you land a better role, you make more money. I want you all to become so obsessed and don't let it last a week. When I started the coaching like a year and a half ago, and I've spent like 30K on like marketing and stuff to try get it to a position, I lost all 30K. Every single penny just went down the drain. I was in a really bad mindset, man. I had really a lot of outgoings. But then my mom said to me, like, as long as you wake up in the morning, you're fine. I wanted to do a little roadmap session because I know a lot of you right now, lads, are in jobs. So I wanted to make it like super clear for all of you right now, what I'd do, exactly how I'd set up my day and to be bullish. But all of this is not very relevant if we don't do the mindset stuff. And I'm going to be honest with you, like, that's why the main thing today was mindset. Like, I could talk about mindset for the next 4 hours, but I want you to implement everything we did and watch this recording back again and again and again and sort of become obsessed with mindset. But if we get into things, Isaac's 20, civil engineer, your current income is 2.5 and you want to hit 5K a month, correct? So we can leave the job. So again, goals, you want to obviously hit financial freedom, and you know your common issue is you've got not enough time because you're in a 9 to 5, you don't know where to start and you don't have any previous sales experience. However, we're going to cover this now. So step one, as I said, is your mindset. Like, it is so important to tap in and just understand, okay, what am I currently doing? What am I not doing that isn't getting me to my goal? Whether it's, you know, your attention, positive thinking. Obviously, we literally just covered that, so we won't go over it again. And again, however, like sales specifically, these are the things I'd say. Long-term vision, so obviously let it compound. Focus on the positives. Setting your state is very important. Being the person you want your prospects to be, that's another thing. So like mindset stuff, sales specific. Being delusional is another big one. Like being like, you know what, I'm going to be a 20, 30K a month closer. Success like speed, here's a huge one as well. We need to move with like so much speed, like our life matters on it, because there'll be a 17, 18-year-old kid in America who is really delusional and moves with so much speed, because when we give you feedback, it's very important. Like, for example, say you put in your Lumi and you're like, oh, give me feedback on this. We give you a lot of feedback on it, but you don't move for like 2 days. And 2 days is very important. Success like speed. Focus on helping people, not the money. Here's a huge one. It's the input to get the output. Like, we all want to make money, that's why everyone's here, right? However, when we focus purely and solely on the money, it shows within our state and our focuses. So focusing on actually having a conversation, helping the people is a very big thing. Okay, organization, let's talk about it. Before and after a 9 to 5 job, when you're on the way to work and you're either listening to something, instead of listening to music, listen to one of the training calls. You've got to become like a bit obsessed with things. And then within like your lunch break and stuff, I'd also be very obsessed listening. This is what I did when I was working at Sainsbury's. I had it in my head, whether it be something to do with mindset, something to do with the actual skill set side of things, or like applying to roles. Now, obviously, Lou, it is different, right? You're already in the space, so you have more time to do this. But for people trying to break out the 9 to 5 role, you need to become obsessed and spend every single minute that isn't on the job working after the 9 to 5 job. Because the good thing is, when we're in the UK, American offers exist and you can work till 1, 2 a.m. Yes, it's going to be a graft. However, it's going to be the thing that allows you to leave your job by the next month. That's what happened with me. I was in Sainsbury's, I was working 9 to 5, and then after the job, I'd come home and 6 till 2 a.m. I'd work every day. It took me 1 month then to hand my notice in and leave the job straight away. Okay. Skill set. Understanding the foundations and role playing are the first biggest things. Everyone here understands how to take a call and the foundation things, correct? Amazing. Role playing. And this is where it comes to this, and I cannot stress it enough. Right now, who in this room role plays more than 10 times a day?
10 times a day?
Yeah. Make it happen. Everyone has the time to role play at least 10 times a day. A role play takes 10 minutes. And this is where I'll suggest one-to-one. Do more one-to-one stuff on role plays. Don't do it as a group. You can do it in 4s, you can do it in 3s. However, the best role plays you'll get is on it with 2 of you. Right, a discovery takes 15 minutes, okay? 15 minutes is half an hour. You can smash 3-4 hours a day of role plays. And when I say that, yes, it's going to be a bit long, but it will get you really, really good, really, really quick, especially if you're then putting it in the Discord and getting it reviewed every 2 minutes. And you're like, go on.
To be fair, you're right about when you sit there, like, if you're last to do the fucking
Yeah, it's just long, isn't
you
it?
got to wait like that.
Yeah, like we're gonna really take it out the group calls as well because it's long. Everyone's just watching it, and we understood that this week from feedback. So every single day, get a role play partner. It could be someone different, one person, and you just smash it out. Me and a guy called I had a guy, what was his name now? Dorian. Me and Dorian, he was from Birmingham, I was from Birmingham. Funny. It's like that scene out there, Rise of the Foot Soldier. Yeah, Football Factory, you know, in the toilet. What's your name? Dorian. Dorian, that's a shit name, bro. Anyway, me and a guy called Dorian, we both started role playing and it was like 1-to-1. And basically we both started and after like a month, he basically quit. So I found this guy called Austin. And me and Austin both ended up hitting like 20K a month. Like the month I hit 23, he hit like 26. And it's because we literally role played every single day, just once a day. I say 10 times a day. However, I say that because if that's the goal, you'll at least do it 4 or 5 times a day, right? Volume outweighs luck. Hormozy says if you can do something so much, you'll get so good so quick, luck goes out the window, and it is simply guaranteed. Do so much volume that it becomes unreasonable not to win, okay? And like now, lads, you're all tapped into the mind. You understand the mindset side of things. So there should be no excuses when I go on to the role play chat and Discord, and there should be no excuses. You ping it off my phone. Ben, I know you were doing it yesterday, mate, which is good. That's what I want you to do. Ping off my phone, ping off Ryan's phone, ping off Joe's phone, because when you do so much volume, get so much reviewing, like I know I don't set a quick expectation, but you could all be applying ready, ready to be on a real good offer within the next 2 weeks if you do enough role play. Because imagine that was your only focus. Imagine someone came to you and was like, your whole family dies unless you do 300 role plays and land a good role. You'd make it work, correct? You actually would. If someone like seriously actually came to your family and said that, you'd make it work. Why not make it work? Like your whole life changes at 10, 15K a month. Forget 10, 15. For a lot of you now, you just want to get out of the job. So do so much volume that when it comes to it, it does not make sense for you to fail. Like hang on a second, I've done 300 role plays. Well, I say do at least 50 before you start applying. But if you can do 100, you're going to be double as good, have double the feedback, and volume, it just outweighs luck. Luck's here, volume's there, every single time, right? Step 5, obviously then finding the opportunities. Up until this point, is everyone clear on what they need to do so far? We get the foundation, everyone's got that. We then do so much volume, and I think that's where everyone needs to dial it up. Volume, okay? We tap in with the mindset, which allows us to do the volume. It doesn't feel like a chore doing 5 role plays a day. We do enough volume. Everyone in this room right now can be ready to start applying to offers. Some of you haven't even been in a month. Within month 2, you've landed a good role. You're making money by month 3. That month 3 could be a 10K month. There is nothing stopping you right now from doing that, okay? So applications and interviews is then our next point. How do we do this again? We do more fucking role plays. I just want you to role play to the point where one of our main focuses is going to be coaching interviews once a week, okay, with me and Ryan. Applications and interviews, we do, what would I say about application interviews? We do enough volume and enough research, it becomes unreasonable not to win. We go and research about the company. We go and research sales managers, other closers on the team, other setters on the team to get our way in. When you do this and you apply, and it shows how seriously you're taking this, you stand out, you land an interview. We act like it's already happened on the interview. We come with confidence. We role-played interviews 50 times. You've been absolutely everything thrown at you. You pass the interview. Lads, this shit isn't simple. This shit isn't hard. It's very simple. For all of you right now, you just need to do more. I'm going to hold you to a very high standard because you're all capable of doing more. Role play again, as I said. Feedback and implementation. We can give you feedback 10 times a day. This is my full-time thing. It's Ryan's full-time thing. So do not be scared to ask for feedback. However, lads, and I mean this, I expect you all to send me 5 clips a day, minimum. Like, even if it's 2-minute clips and ask for feedback. I want you to be obsessed like you're a professional footballer. You know Cristiano Ronaldo, he's a great example of how obsessed he was at the craft of becoming good. Because guess what happens when you become good? You can't be replaced and there's a demand for you. Right now, you can't be a pea in a pod. You can't be a small fish in a very, very big sea of high ticket sales. Guys aren't good, I keep saying this. 80% of closers are absolutely rubbish. It's very easy to be good in this space. However, to do that, you have to become obsessed with feedback and implementation. I don't feel like you use me enough sometimes. Like, you need to be blowing off the Discord and blowing off my phone and be like, that's what I did with my mentor. I did not stop calling him. I just did not stop calling him. I was like, bro, can I get feedback there? What do I need to do here? Why haven't I hit this yet? It wasn't me being impatient. It was because I was so obsessed. So for all of you right now, do more, get more feedback, get more implementation. Land an offer. We all know how to do that. Interviews, application. Recruiters there for a reason. It is on a plate for you, lads. When I got into the space, I had absolutely none of it. My way of landing an offer was cold outreach through DMs. Trust me, it is absolute hell. You do not want to do it because the creators and sales managers get another 50 roles a day, right? That asking, oh, can we land this? Can we land that? Can you hire me as this? So landing an offer obviously comes from what? Repetition, okay? And again, more feedback equals more results. Q&A, hit me. About your current situations, I want to dive deep into everyone's situations. Like for Albie, Dylan, Jamie, Melsh, you need to do more shit. Just do more of it. And I want, like, when I say do more of it, I mean like do way more. Okay, when you do, because you're very capable, you already have very good foundations. Okay, do more, way more. Like I don't want, and if you feel friction, let's tap into the mindset side of things. See how this just interlinks to mindset. Right, everything is mindset. Ben, you're pretty much ready for role. I'd say now. Louis, you're more than ready. Isaac, you're really getting there. Now, obviously, lads, we haven't been in as long, but you're more than capable. I don't want you to have the belief of I need to be in for 2 months before I even land an offer. Let's dive into sort of like in-person training. Is there any part of discovery or objection handling or pitching that just doesn't make sense to anyone right now? Or are we all pros? Go on.
I do understand, like, sometimes with probing, I just don't know what to say. Like,
Okay.
I'm trying to probe something out of someone, they'll say something to me, and I haven't a clue what to, like, have to dig into it.
Okay. Let's role play it. Yeah, Joe, I just want like more freedom.
More freedom. What's more freedom to you?
I'd say like just making more money.
More money, I mean, what would more money get you?
You're doing it right now. That's fine. Like, okay, more money, just, you know, a better life.
Better life, right? What does a better life look like?
You know, just being able to do more things.
More things like?
Honestly, man, it's more so like being able to like help my family more.
Is that a big thing for you right now?
Of course, man, it's always been a big thing.
Yeah, that's where I get stuck.
Okay, bro, like I respect you. Continue the role play. You play prospects over the closer. Bro, like, you know, helping our families, it's one of the biggest things. Like, why is that important to you though?
Well, I mean, they've done it for me my entire life, so it's time to give back.
Okay, and do you feel like you can give back now?
I mean, if I put the effort in, yeah.
Okay, if you put the effort in, but like to the extent you want to give back, in like what makes you feel like you can't do that right now?
Just don't have the money nor the time, really.
Okay, more nor the money or the time. Like, talk to me about that.
Well, I mean, right now I'm kind of just looking at a minimum wage job and I work about 50 hours a week, so all my time's tied up really. I don't really have much money either.
That's understandable, man. Like 50 hours a week. What do you do for work?
I'm a carpenter.
Okay, how long you been doing that for?
About 2 years now.
Okay, 2 years. And do you feel like you work a lot?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Do you feel like you're paid fairly?
Not at all.
Okay, what makes you say that?
Well, I mean, pretty hard graft at the end of the day.
I can imagine, man.
The same as someone who works at co-op. It's a bit of a
Yeah, I can imagine, man. However, like, so for the last 2 years, we wanted to, you know, we've been working as a carpenter. How long has it been that you've had this feeling of like wanting to help your family out and break out the job?
Probably like the last year or so.
Okay, and like when we look at that together, why do you feel like that hasn't happened yet? We'll stop there a sec, but bro, do you see how I'm not doing anything special? I'm giving context and then asking why. I'm giving context and asking why. If something doesn't make sense to you, bro, okay, it's like talking to a mate in a coffee shop. Because remember, lads, this is a conversation at the end of the day. When someone gives you something you don't know how to probe on it, you double down, okay, cool, man. Like, and instead of just saying, like, what do you mean? Right, because that gets you a bad answer, it creates friction. We give context. Okay, bro, when you say, like, you're working 50 hours a week, I can understand it. But, like, what makes you feel underpaid? What makes you feel like that? Talk to me about that. They're common things I use. Okay, like, what makes you feel like you don't have that right now? Okay, and how does that compare to that? Like, you were doing it perfectly then, bro. Don't overthink it. It's a conversation. Imagine, you got a missus, right?
Yeah.
Imagine your missus was having an argument with you and nothing is making sense. You'd be like, hang on, what do you mean? And you don't do it in like an argumentative tone, you do it in a curious tone.
Yeah.
Tone is very important as well. Like, when you want to probe, it's got to be curious and genuine curiosity. What do you mean by that? And it's like, when you show a curious tone, you get a better answer. Then what do you mean? Make sense?
Yeah.
Where do you feel like we'll go around the table. Where do you feel like you're stuck right now? What's stopping you from getting to 10k a month?
Just do it more.
Doing more, Dylan. There's your answer, son. And that is the answer for you. Just doing more of it, getting better, getting more feedback.
Yeah, I guess just like becoming obsessed with it, and not forcing myself, but like I need to make sure that I know that it's something that I want to do, not that I have to do.
Yeah. Do you feel like it's something you have to do right now? Do
Maybe
you
not
feel a
have
bit
to,
friction?
But like I have to be like, okay, I've got to go sit down and do some role plays now, or else I'm not going to reach my goal.
Yeah.
Instead of, I get to, I guess.
Do you understand how you can change that from the mindset stuff now? Because it was similar to what Ben said earlier, right?
Yeah, I guess. Well, it sounds pretty simple, but change the negative thought to a positive thought. But I mean, what I said, like, I get to do this rather than I have to do this.
Yeah, like you just choose to think the positive, like you choose to be excited. That is like something I've implemented as well. And Nero, by the way, charges 50k for 6 weeks. £50,000, the guy works professional footballers, actors, and that is what he told us to do, just choose. You just simply choose to do something, because when you feel friction, you won't be as excited to do something. When you're not as excited, your state's a bit off. So for you, it's the same as Ben. You've got to tap into what is causing you to feel even a bit of friction. Get into that right. Like for everyone right now, it's a case of doing more stuff. You have to do. Be really obsessed with doing the thing, getting good at the thing, because it becomes more fun when you're good. Like that is the truth with sales. When you're good, you can close more deals. It becomes so much more fun. You're like, I'm cracking this. See it as a bit of a game, because sales is a game. Right, like this is all a big game. You get better, you land a better role, you make more money. The output is more money. Jamie, what do you feel like is stopping you right now from leaving your job, hitting like 3, 4, 5k a month?
I would say the same, really, having a positive attitude and just need to do more.
Yeah, do more. Melch, what about you, bro?
I'd say like taking the role play more serious.
Okay.
So when I watch it back, it sounds like we were too tired. We don't care.
Yeah, and that's mindset. Like that's something that we have to tap into. And I know you weren't here for the mindset, so bro, watch it back. Like it's going to be recorded and stuff. But I think it's very important that we tap into what makes you tired. Because say you were going to make 5k from that role play, would you feel tired? Would you feel good? So like, we've got to act like them role plays are going to make us 5k,
Yeah.
and you're more excited then. Ben?
The mindset of it, but
Yeah.
especially like start to believe I'm actually,
Gonna do it.
believe that you're there already.
Yeah, like I'm being, lads, I promise you now, I did, like, this hasn't been long. I've sat in masterminds for like hours on end before, and I've taken away 1, 2 things. That mindset stuff, if you could just implement that, I promise you all now, lads, I'm not saying it for the sake of saying it, you all have achieved your goal by May, June. I promise you. Like, this will be a different conversation. It won't be me saying what stopped you, it's what stopped you from getting to 20 a month, right? That's the biggest thing, like just mindset. I want you all to become so obsessed, and don't let it last a week. If it lasts a week and, we come off the back of this, meet up and you're all buzzing, you met me in person, it's sick. and you've all met each other in person. Like that's why I did this, right? So like, you know, it doesn't feel like you're role playing with someone else in a group. It's like I'm role playing with my pal that I had a beer with, right? What do you think?
Yeah, it was mindset. It was that thing where I said, like, what happens if something bad goes wrong? Or
Yeah.
what happens when something goes wrong? And then how do I react to that?
Yeah. The truth is, as well, with shit going wrong, because when I started the coaching, I actually started like a year and a half ago, and I've spent like 30k on like marketing and stuff to try get it to a position. I lost all 30k. Every single penny just went down the drain. And I was in a really bad mindset, man. I had really a lot of outgoings because of family and stuff. I was like, what am I gonna do? Like, what am I actually gonna do? But then my mom said to me, like, as long as you wake up in the morning, you're fine. Like, lads, I know it's cliche and I know everyone says it before, but there is someone right now, and until you experience it, I don't think you'll understand it, but we could all go to a hospital right now and there'll be a lad, we're all similar the same age, there'll be a lad sitting there who's 20, 21, 22 with terminal illness that won't see the next year. So like, at the same time, you all have an opportunity to grab life by the balls and achieve what you want to achieve. Don't let it slip by, because it can slip by very soon. And that's when you see a 40, 50-year-old was capable of so much more, but never. We all have that mate who used to play football. Like, we all had that mate who played football that could have achieved so much more, but he let life just slip by. So I think the huge thing is, if you can just wake up in the morning and go, fuck this, no, I'm going to achieve everything I said I wanted to achieve, you will achieve it. I promise you now. What do you think's stopping you from getting to 5, 10, 15?
Say volume of applications.
Yep.
To get to like 5k.
Yep.
Um,
Yep. It's all volume, lads.
Yeah.
Because if you apply for 1,000 offers tomorrow, you get every single application reviewed. You get that much feedback. Do you think it's likely or unlikely that you'd land a good offer?
Likely. And Danish people.
Yeah. Yeah. So, like, that, lads, takeaways, do more volume. Tap into your mind more and be more obsessed. I want you to all obsess over the mindset and be excited to learn about your mind. Because, like, I have friends that make so much money and, like, they see, like, 5k as, like, a fiver, and it's actually insane to me. Like, I was out with my friends in London and they paid a bill that comes to 8 grand, and, like, bro, Apple paid. And I was like, yo, this guy's got way too much money for my liking. But he's the one that, like, put me on the mindset stuff. When you can tap into the mind and you actually understand it, there is no difference, because you're all putting your time into the right things now. Before, the difference was you were all putting your time into a 9 to 5 that couldn't actually get you there. Sales can get you there. High ticket sales can get you there. You know, sales has been around for so long, but now we need to be obsessed with the mindset and volume. Mindset, volume, I promise you now, lads, you'll get to the point. And in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, if I'm not seeing the mindset, I'll call you out in front of everyone. That won't be nice, will it? But, like, when you're all capable of it, I'd be such a bad coach to not hold you to a really high standard, because, lads, I mean,